Hello and welcome back to Morgan's not so lazy Sunday afternoon write-in. Crafters, hang out. You're not obligated to write, but I'm going to because it's NaNoWriMo. And we all know what that means. Today I've got Jayce with me. Jayce, did you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. I am Jayce Maxwell. I'm an urban fantasy author. I'm an editor for Rosity Editing at rocityediting.com. I do sim streams 3 days a week, and I do my productivity streams on Saturday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh.
And today I will be reading. I have a huge backlog, and I'm sort of using Nano as like a NaNoWriMo.
Nice. So is this for fun reading or for work reading?
This is a little 60% of one, 40% of the other.
Okay.
It's a manual for a game.
Oh, okay.
But, as much as I just like reading the stuff, I actually want to run the game on my channel. So I have to actually do the research.
What sort of system is it?
It's the World of Darkness system.
Okay.
It'll be a Vampire the Masquerade game.
Fun. My main White Wolf experience has been Dark Ages and then Changeling.
Okay.
So that's where I live. We have Andy saying hello to both of us.
Hello.
And we've got Doc over in the comments too. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Super awesome to have you all here. Doc says the standing desk gives us a new viewpoint. Yes. So work has these open office spaces that have just been empty for some reason for, say, 8 months. And so they asked if we wanted them. And I said yes. And so it's got a button. It's got preset heights. It's got all that fun stuff. It's super exciting. So I've been doing a sprint up, a sprint down, just whatever I feel like. And it's super fun. And it helps because when I sit in the chair too long, right here starts to tingle like it's going numb. And I've been told that's a bad thing. So I'm just trying to
guess that.
Trying to switch it up a little. So I see Sarah says, hello, my little kumquats. She's got us muted because she's working on a video, but hidden the like and will pop in once she's done with the video. And she reminds everybody hit the like. Thank you.
That reminds me, I have to open up the stream on YouTube so I can give it a like.
Oh, yeah. So I learned something on Friday is unlike Chrome, where you can mute the site, on Internet Explorer, it's muting the tab. So if you happen to open a new tab, it might start making noises and you can totally pretend it was somebody else's computer and totally not you. I'm so bad at that. But yeah, I usually on Chrome open up YouTube, hit mute site, and then go to the link when I'm on a stream, just for safety's sake.
Yeah, I pop in and hit mute immediately unless it hasn't started yet, and then I mute the tab.
Yeah.
Or the site.
So before we get started, you got to tell me about your profile picture. I see 2 cats, and I don't know these kitties.
The gray one is Willow, and the tan one is Cricket.
Awesome.
And they are 6 days apart. They are not litter mates, but they don't know that. They were born to 2 mothers in the same household.
Aww. Before their eyes were open.
Yeah, basically. And the 2 mama cats co-mothered.
That's so sweet.
They have no idea that they're not biological or possibly half biological.
So you think they have the same daddy?
They could have the same daddy.
Yeah. We've got MM Ward. Hello and welcome. And we've got CV. Hello. Well, it's NaNoWriMo. We're not here to chit chat. We're here to get words in. So, or at least I am. You're here to do some writing. In the comments, people, let me know if you're doing Nano and how's it going. That's the big question of the moment.
Yep, CB and Penumbra were with us on Amber Stream.
Oh, okay.
Or at Amber Stream.
Nice. So if you've been to my stream before, I just want to say when I'm writing, I do shorter sprints than when I'm editing, because editing takes a little more to get into and get the voice and stuff. But writing, my attention starts to wander about 15 minutes. So that's what I'm going to be running for today. So hopefully that'll work for everybody. MM Ward says, your kitties are milkmates.
Yes, they are.
The Novel Nano swung by. Hello.
Hey, Bex.
I'm so glad your husband's home. I totally understand no nano. Definitely. So definitely take care of your house and your family and everything like that. Priorities. Andy is not doing nano, but he's got an anthology deadline he's working. CB is doing nano, and it's going way too well. I don't even understand the concept. What is this way too well you speak of?
No, for CB, Nano is nothing. Nano would be a cakewalk. CB writes like 1 million words a day.
Not me. Novel Nano wanted to pop in and say hello and good luck. And we all appreciate it. Definitely always get to hear from you. Lizzie says, hey, cats.
Yes.
So, right? That was my reaction. I'm aboard. Is checking in with Bex. CV is already 30K in. Oh my goodness. What is your plan? Are you planning on a double nano or what? I'm just curious here. Or 4 times? I don't even know.
And I think Millwordy is hitting a lot of people, making people produce a lot more too.
Gotcha. Okay. Emma Mort says that Beck's Nano Journal looked amazing. Lizzie's pulling over at 20K. Nice. CB wishes she was doing 1 million words a day. Me, I am a marathoner. I can do a nano of words. I have done a nano and a half. But I can't do over 3,000 words in a day. And the nano and a half only worked because it was the sequel and I already knew the world and the characters and the story I wanted to tell. My typical pace is about 30,000 words per month. So nano can be done if I don't do anything else, but that's not sustainable for me. And I was whining to Jayce before we got started. Last Sunday, I gave myself 14 hours to get my words in and get a good start. And it took me until a 15-minute sprint at 11:40 p.m. for me to get that last set of words to get my words in for the day. My words will take as long as I have. If I have 14 hours, it will take me 14 hours to get 1,667 words. If I have 90 minutes, it will take me 90 minutes or 95 minutes to get 1,667 words. So I am not a huge person, but because I've never done 2 days worth of nano on a single day, I have to keep up with it. If I miss a single day, if I fall behind, I am SOL. So I know that's how I work. And so I just inch forward. My first 5,000, 10,000 words have a lot of background and world building and info dumps, but it's for me. It's not for you. And it'll get cut in the final version. And I need to explore this stuff to find the story. And when I get stuck, I like to do vignettes, like backstories of secondary characters or mythologies and whatever, and just have fun and explore the world. And it's helpful for me. And it gets my words in. so that's how I roll. Novel Nana says she's doing well and glad we liked her bujo. So is heading off. CB is aiming for 300K. My hands hurt. I'm just saying. Novel Nana says, hit that like button. Emma Ward says, my inner grumpy goat editor has caged my hummingbird muse until I get through the first book in the series before she lets me get back to it and is only 10K in. Legit. Emma Ward is exhausted from doing the August 80K. Yeah, no, legit. I was not part of that. I spend way too much of my life editing. Lizzie's like, 300K? How? She doesn't play.
She doesn't play.
Right. Doc is 9,031 words into his book for the first week. So that's awesome. That's some really good, solid progress. So we've got a whole variety. We've got people not playing. We've got 40,000 words. We've got people chugging along, barely keeping up. If I get the words in before I go to bed, I will go in and edit and add them to the previous day because it counts for the previous day before I go to bed. That's just how I roll.
I have thought up a term for you.
Okay.
You are an entropy writer. Your words spread out to fill the space that you allow them.
I have to admit, I get feelings of entropy when I visit places during this time of COVID, because people will space out the maximum amount of space available. Or at least the considerate ones will. Those are the ones I'm hanging out with. So if there's space, we will just like, what is the maximum amount of space we can give each other? Mm-hmm. So it's very considerate. Lizzie says they usually get 8K draft words a month, and their goal is 70K for Nano. Snaps? Seriously? Doc was agreeing with something. I forgot what. I lost. Oh, expanding to fill the available space. So, and Lizzie, usually gets 80K, not 8K. That was a typo. Okay. So that's awesome. Well, we've been talking for 15 minutes and we really should get started. Let's see. Share screen. Make sure to share audio rather than me do my usual pop open the thing and immediately close it. And there we go. We've got the timer. Are people ready? Does it matter? Are we going to get started? Yes. 3, 2, 1, right. And we're back. So I got like 5 words. I researched some tidal waves, and we all know that Morgan's writing is fueled by snacks. So I got this awesome garlic and herb cheese spread at the local farmer's market.
Ooh.
And so I had to find something to eat with it. So priorities, yo.
I did some reading, and then I went up to get some water, and I said hi to the kitties, and then I was like, wait, I don't have a picture of Charlie. But I don't have a picture of Charlie.
So you have 3 cats?
Yeah, 3 cats. Okay. Charlie is all black.
Okay.
And has really, really long legs and is super muscular.
Nice.
It's a very big boy.
Uh-huh. Kelly showed up. Hello, Kelly.
Hello, kitty.
Doc is a fan of snacks as well. Virtual fist bump. Oh, yeah.
Snacks.
CB was actually focused and got 209 words. Sarah's with me and is having mashed potatoes and mac and cheese because carbs. Yeah, I get the like crackers that come in the serving size. Or wait, I think 5 crackers is supposed to be a serving, but they're wrong. Has anyone ever actually eaten 5 crackers out of a sleeve?
Yeah, I can't remember which comedian it was, but they were talking about Girl Scout cookies, and they said, "Do you know what the serving size for Thin Mints is?"
A sleeve.
Yes.
You may have missed my I have a blog post about Thin Mint lovers and how tag-along lovers are completely cheated out of a third of a cookie, and but by weight we have 2/3 the amount of cookies that Thin Mint cookie lovers do. By cookie count, we have 16 to your 32 per box, and there is no way to make 16 cookies last as long as 32 cookies.
No.
So I think owed about 12 boxes by this point in my life.
I've got one down on you.
Oh.
Not one up on you, one down on you. I'm a Samoan lover.
Oh,
15.
I go back and forth. This year was a high Samoa year, but when they took the trans fats out in like the early 2000s, because I'm old, they shrunk the cookie and the flavor suffered a bit. They're getting closer back, or it's been so long that I've forgotten what they're supposed to taste like. I'm not sure which, but Samoa's definitely suffered the most from the removal of trans fats. They shrunk by like a third. They were so tiny.
But now Keebler makes them, and they taste pretty much identical.
Sorry, I'm taking advantage of my sit-stand desk, and now I'm going to sit.
I was going to say, your camera seems to be fainting. But, about half the price.
Okay. But I have a niece who's a Girl Scout, so...
Yeah.
And I'm an aunt. Moral obligations here. So, Andy cheered on my garlic and herb cheese spread and got 254 words. That's perfectly respectable.
Mm-hmm.
He's not liking it, but sounds good to me. I got 5 words, dude. 5. Lizzie got nothing. Too busy trying to get this author tuber off my feed because it's not healthy for them to watch them anymore. Oh, I hate when that happens. It's always a fun feeling, a not so fun feeling. So, but glad they're moving on instead of dwelling in bitterness and working on author website. Legit. Most of us have been there at some point. CV shared a line with us. While we were watching the movie, I slid my arm around Pepper and she reciprocated. Just when the sheriff declares, "Loxley, I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon," we kissed. Oh, I mean, that is a romantic portion of the movie. So Doc got 243 words and now is going for the snacks to fuel the next part of the sprint. CV never had Girl Scout cookies because they don't exist in the UK. Legit. I'm sorry. I mean, there's certain flavors that you can't get at grocery stores, but most of them you can get elsewhere.
Yeah, you're not really missing out on any like particular special thing.
Yeah.
Except maybe the Savannah Smiles. Those are delicious. And I don't think I've been able to find that flavor anywhere else.
Gotcha. Doc says s'more lovers have been cheated for years. They keep putting fewer cookies in the box. Kelly suggests eat slower. I think he's never eaten a cookie before in his life. CB says, wasn't this an episode of Friends? And Kelly is drooling at the Samoas. Now CB wants a snack. My work here is done. Andy holds himself to impossibly high standards, scoffing at his 300 words per sprint. M.M. Ward is feeding pages to the grumpy goat editor. CV, a fun fact about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's 30 years old on June 13th. Well, I might have to celebrate.
Okay, here we are. Coconut Dreams is what they're called. And I will share the screen so they can see what to look for in the store.
Sure.
So you have to accept it to share. Yep.
There we go.
So CB, if you can find those in any store, those taste like Samoas. Coconut Dreams.
So. M.M. Ward says, hesitation and you will not even know you're dead. I think sharing a line, that's awesome. Hello, Dodling Writer. Hello and welcome. And Kelly says he has eaten cookies, whole boxes of regular standard cookies at a time in under an hour. Yeah.
So he does know how to eat cookies.
I had to reorder Samoas twice this year. It was definitely a Samoa year, not a tag-along year for me. But yeah. So Aldi also has a knockoff version. Good to know. So if you're near an Aldi, it's a discount grocery store with very few bells and whistles and lots of tasty goodness. CB says, oh, the government won't allow certain additives here because the governments are the freaking mafia. And CB says, I can do that with double stuffed Oreos. Eating the whole box in under an hour. Wow. Wash it down with something good.
But I also made a purchase of a book today. Because
book?
We found not an author I had heard of before today.
Okay.
But we found a very interesting title, and I read the synopsis during Amber's stream, and we laughed so hard that we decided we're going to actually get the book and do a review of it on her channel.
Yes.
I'll tell you the name, and then you can decide whether you want the synopsis or not.
Okay.
It's called The Haunted Vagina.
So I have speculation. I don't think I need to discuss that though.
That is all well and good. That's why I was willing to just let it stand at the title.
Have they tried a suppository?
It's not that kind of story.
Okay. Well then. So
it's a genre
interesting.
that we didn't not that
we didn't know existed.
That I had not known that the sort of thing it existed, but I didn't know it was a huge literary genre.
Rule 34.
No, this is not it's not a porn genre. It is a bizarro.
Is it body horror?
No, it's bizarro as the
and it's definitely not my genre. I don't like bizarro, absurdist sort of things.
Mhm.
I'm very plot driven. So if there's not a coherent plot or at least an emotional arc in the character's head, it's not really my jam. You want to know what is my jam? Writing.
Writing.
And so maybe we should do another sprint.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do something other than eat crackers. I mean, yes, of course I will. I need words. So, okay, let's. I'm sorry. Before we pop in, Kelly had to stop by cookies because of the serving size. Andy has heard of that book. Lizzie cracked up. Andy says it is not related to the tarot comic dealing with a similar issue. Kelly's ears perked up. Emma Ward says regarding cookies, they were struggling with artificial sweeteners. Lizzie said, "Come on, man. It's that time for me. I don't need to hear about haunted places." Pronoun I, hello and welcome. You are here at a very interesting time, but we're getting ready to sprint. Lizzie looks up book. Lizzie confirms it is a real book. I never expected Jayce would lie about that.
Nope, we found it. I ordered it, and we are going to do a review on Amber's channel.
I don't know how weird your head gets, but I never suspected it was not real. So.
The synopsis was enough for us to like cry on camera laughing.
Excellent. Did you catch your breath?
It was hard. Difficult.
I can see that. So anyway, you can either go investigate the book, aforementioned book, or you could do a writing sprint because we're in the middle of NaNoWriMo and we got to get some words done. Or at least some of us do. So let's go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Write or look up silly books.
That's a very pleasant alarm.
Thank you. I hate alarming alarms. Also, I'm not a challenge to wake up, so I go for soft, unalarming, pretty sounds. That's just how I roll. So
Sometimes I sit in the corner with my legs pressed up, with my knees pressed up against my chest, and I wrap my arms around my knees, and then I lean forward, because that's how I roll.
Like a somersault. That makes sense. So, there's some discussion about food allergies, and then
Hello,
Glory
Glory.
writes the blues swung by. Hello.
Glory to glory.
So let's see. Ward needs to send you the Dobby thing. Is it a sock?
I have no idea.
Okay. More talk about how even orange scented cleaning products can be migraine triggers. They're rough. Discussion if CB is allergic to monoterpenes. And the NHS doesn't do anything about migraines, just send meds and bye-bye. CB has not had any blood testing concerning the migraines. My friend is just doing an elimination diet, and she came out actually for her birthday. And I was like, I can't offer you food because you can't do baked goods because of sugar, and you can't do OJ, and you can't do chocolates, and I don't know what else I have in my house. I mean, I have other things, but yeah. So Kelly got 72 words, missed the first sprint. Doc got 208.
Nice.
I have no clue how many I got. Let me take a look. Did you get any reading done? What were you doing that sprint?
I got a little bit of reading done, but I got caught up in looking up stuff.
Yeah, that happens. So let's see. I started the day at 12,372. And right now I am at 12,565. So what does that give me? Not even 300 words? Somewhere around there. Math.
Yeah,
where am I typing? I'm typing and it's not in the window I thought it was. Oh goodness. It instead of subtracting, apparently I forgot to hit the subtract button, so then I was just adding more digits.
That's always fun.
I did not even get 200 words, but I got words. I'll take
just put the two numbers that you were typing together and have that as your total and just have a really awesome day.
Yeah, but I'll somehow magically lose about, 6 digits tomorrow.
That's tomorrow's problem.
Right. CB got 222 words with a quote, "Of all the nights for my nightmares to return with a vengeance, it had to be that night." Andy got 271. Glory did some research and is planning to jump back into scene writing for the next sprint. Pronoun I was working on some reading, just like Jayce, although maybe a different book. Probably a different book. CB says, as long as they avoid stress, red wine, oranges, and certain fizzy drinks, the migraines are mostly at bay.
How do you avoid stress?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That just seems to be life.
Ward started feeding a new chapter to the GGE. What is the GGE?
The Grumpy Goat Editor.
Oh, right. Of course. I don't even understand why I asked that. CB says they're good migraine wise. Hello, Life with Tash. Good to meet you. Part of me is glad I'm not the only one who has a migraine today, but part of me is sad too. I
get that.
Deepest sympathies. Migraines are rough. They're not fun.
It's that whole misery loves company thing when you know someone else is with you in the same boat.
Yeah. Those are that level of illness is something that I feel should be able to be delegated to the politician of your choice.
Actually, that is what I got caught up in during the sprint, and I have made a vow to not bring up any of the stuff during live streams
Gotcha.
because
Yeah.
you know what?
I'm trying to avoid some politics, trying to avoid,
There are
I'm here for
places
writing.
for it.
I am in a sci-fi fantasy setting far from reality. I've got sentient octopuses and space flying manta ray and humans on another planet who worship navigators and pilots and the void itself, and very, very little to do with.
I have the politics between vampires and magic users and were animals.
Right. I mean, they get pretty cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered giving them snacks and then having the discussion?
It has happened.
I believe that they're all species that have tendencies to have short tempers, and that avoiding being hangry can go a long way towards more diplomatic meetings.
Unfortunately, feeding them right before the meeting usually involves throwing a human on the table.
We do like to avoid that. So, okay, Weird is here. Hello.
Hey, okay, Weird.
Welcome. Good to see you. Everybody agrees with the avoidance of politics, or at least non-story based politics. So Word only looks at politics on a 0-day or a 5-day. So that makes sense. It's you got to do what you got to do to keep your sanity.
Mm-hmm. I will look at it daily, but I don't want to drag it onto YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's YouTube is not a space that I do politics. My social media in general, I leave it for friends and family, not anything public, because.
And I had a difficult task yesterday keeping some very politically minded friends on my stream.
Oh dear.
On the day of the announcement of the winner.
Yeah, I got
from discussing it.
Prospective winner.
Right.
They're still counting. Every vote counts, but okay.
True.
Enough. So yeah. Oh goodness. Did we want to sprint? Did we want to make words? Maybe I'll actually pay attention to my words this sprint.
Maybe I'll actually read the whole sprint.
I ran out of snacks, so.
You have to feel the words.
Back in the fridge, so.
Can you sprint that to the fridge?
Right. So. Okay. Well, let's get some words in. It is NaNoWriMo. If you're not writing, that's totally fine. You can craft, you can do dishes, what have you, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Let's stop. How does this work? Okay. So add to stream and then start. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Get these words in. And we're back. Oh my goodness. I got actual words in that time.
I got actual reading in that time.
Ew, tell me how yours went.
Several pages. They're big pages.
Right. Are you liking the story? Is it everything you hoped it would
Well,
be?
it's a RPG manual, so.
Right. So, is it different? How different is
I
it?
haven't actually gotten in. I'm in all the flavor stuff at the beginning.
Those are always fun bits.
I don't know how versed you are in Vampire the Masquerade. Right now I'm reading a conversation over, I guess it's like a CB radio, between two Camarilla.
Okay.
About a
Mm-hmm.
masquerade breach that they found.
Yeah, no.
No.
You can't give us away to the mortals. So that sprint, I went from 12,565 to 12,964. I got 399 words. So feeling pretty good about that sprint. My average when I'm actually focused is usually about 350. So definitely ballpark.
I'm
very
chuckling
pleased.
because of
Speaking of, got
South Park.
351.
Can I borrow 350?
Oh.
No,
Gotcha.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
You can't have 350.
Doc got 298 and is picking up momentum. CB shared a line. I handed one of the cups to Pepper and took the other. We sat there sipping silently. Oh, that's a sweet scene. Doc says he played in a vampire campaign for about a dozen years to give it up for time for writing. I hear that. And Andy got 360 so far. 826 in like an hour and a half. Not bad. And White Wolf / Onyx Path always did a great job with the fiction pieces between their crunch. So A Life with Tosh got 60, but did get some scheduling done for the week. So still productive. I need to do some scheduling. I want to go a little further in words. I want to get closer to half at least before I try anything else. But awesome. Good work. A Glory Writes the Blues reread the scene they're working on, and then their brother brought home surprise deep dish pepperoni.
Nice.
Awesome. And for CB, Pepper just had a really, really bad nightmare. Aw. For those who don't know, CB writes Pepper and Tony fanfic from the Marvel universe. So, and likes to share little snippets with us. And broke 40K for the month.
Dang.
Whew, my hand hurts just thinking it. Oh, speaking of, I think it's time for a stretch break. If people haven't stretched yet, I think it's time to stand up and stretch.
All right. While we're stretching, I will say that for those of you who are interested in Vampire the Masquerade stuff, I know Sako runs a game on Saturday mornings. 9 a.m. Eastern on her channel. I am one of the players in that game. And we have a good time. She is not streaming this coming weekend, though, because of a family affair.
Family things happen. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the... So.
Although it is YouTube that she's streaming it on, so morning is not necessary. You can still watch it later.
Right. Legit. So, lots of congrats for CB with the word counts, and I'm with Doc.
The interesting thing, though, her game is V20.
Okay.
20th anniversary,
Mhm.
because White Wolf hadn't allowed V5, their newest, to be streamed live,
Oh,
but now they have, as long as you follow their rules.
nice.
So I might be doing V5 on my channel.
Oh, fun. Okay. I haven't looked at it since the last edition came out. So CB said they slept through this morning, and M Ward had to stop to talk with the cousin about her husband's memorial, which might have to be canceled until they get the COVID test back on her daughter. Oh my goodness. That's a lot to deal with. That really, really is.
Yeah, I've had 2 family members die over the summer and no funerals.
I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine. So, in brighter news, Ward has declared that CB is a writing machine, and I think we all agree.
CB is a writing machine.
Right? So, and flipping back to the vampire stuff, Doc wonders, which edition was it when they changed the world of darkness to the world of insufficient light? Yeah, you can't play World of Darkness while it's morning. It's in the name. And Tosh is sending everyone some extra love. So, oh goodness, oh my goodness, it's been a year. It's been a month.
Yes.
It's been a decade.
Longest and hardest year for everybody. Just widespread.
Oh yeah. It's been rough for so many people, and it might be getting worse before it gets better. So we'll see.
I saw a meme the other day that it was funny, but it also was so true.
Mm-hmm.
If 2020 was a bath bomb, it would be a toaster.
Oh, I saw that one.
It's like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right? It's ridiculous. It's been something. But I know I have been very, very fortunate. I do software, and so I spend my day at this desk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I spend my nights at this desk. So I'm super excited that I have the sit-stand desk now. So it's a little more variety. I get to look at the same view from like 2 feet higher.
Gotta love the scenic view.
I'm in the one place in my house that doesn't have a window. There's a skylight and the kitchen, which is right there, which messes up my lighting. But there should be a window right there, and there isn't. And I might see about adding a window to my house, just because this is like the living room, and my dining nook is where I set up my desks and my bookshelves. Here, let me give you a little tour of this space. So that would be a great place for a window.
What's on the other side?
Well, there's my umbrella, and then there's the kitchen.
No, I meant the other side of that wall, like the yard area.
There's several feet, and then the neighbors. But it's right around the back line of the neighbor's house and starting into their backyard, but they have a tall fence, so it's not very offensive or anything. And I mean, 3 feet that way, I have my sunroom, and it's got a sliding glass door facing that way, so it's not,
Yeah, I'm just always very aware of like what I'm looking out onto and what's looking in.
Yeah. So it's the neighbor's backyard. They don't use it a huge amount, but obviously I would have privacy stuff up, but just, having that option would be really nice for this space, because it gets really dark. So
Yeah, I remember I house sat for one of my aunts
Okay.
several years ago for like probably 3 or 4 days.
Mhm.
And just the lack of privacy in the house because there were windows everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's not my style.
I was just like, I can't take this. I feel like I am being watched. I feel like I'm under glass being watched constantly.
Mhm. That's rough. I mean, I'm good at shades and things and stuff. So my bedroom is the only thing that faces the street, and it has like wood blind slats that came with the house. And so nothing gets through that. And there's shrubbery up in front, so you can't really.
Sorry, that word just makes me chuckle.
I mean, shrubbery. Who doesn't enjoy a nice chat about shrubbery?
Bring me a shrubbery.
Oh, goodness.
Sometimes words just get ruined by comedy routines.
Or made.
Yes.
So, let's see. CV feels like this year has just disappeared, and I get it. I get it. It feels like it should be maybe June because I haven't left my house since that. Um, and Tosh loved. Okay. Doc says, "Ooh, and it's motorized." Tosh says, "I work in film, so I'm just thankful we get tested all the time." Oh,
Mhm.
definitely, definitely. MM Ward looked up problems of 1920s, and this year has been its time echo. That's
It,
not amazing.
it's every 100 years.
Yeah. And then they looked up 1921 and is sending my previous statement as of all I want for Christmas is 2021. And MM Ward said, but 24 inches.
I'm not sure what that's
I don't get
referring
that
to.
reference. I'm sorry. Doc says he's been using the TV as a window, looking at pan shots of beautiful spaces. And Sarah's exporting the video now. Yay,
Woo!
success. Yay for progress. CB just got the living room insulated and they had to take the blinds down and is waiting for my uncle to come and put them back up. So fun story about me and privacy. When my ex-husband and I moved into our first house, we moved into a house together. It was glorious. And I'm a chronic unpacker. We're completely unpacked by Tuesday. But the day of, the movers had just left. We plopped down on the unmade bed. I looked sideways and saw the street and people walking their dogs. And I'm like, we're not going to bed until we have curtains for this room because I'm not seeing that from my bedroom. That's just not acceptable. So we went to Bed Bath and Beyond and got some curtains. So M. Ward says they also turn on the TV to look like a virtual window. So Andy says that shrubbery is up there with gusset or titmouse. And MM Ward says I would trade an interior wall for the view of a fence. It's further away than that. I would see like the side of some trees and like the squirrels running around, and there's a couple other things. It's not just wall right there. I can see the sky and the sun and the weather and things like that as well. And it's not like staring into my neighbor's window, which would be creepy, which it's not. So, MM Ward said, I changed my view 2 feet because I stood up.
That's right.
So that was the 24 inches. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, when I was taking care of my grandma's dog the other day, I
What's
was
the
out.
puppy's name?
Daisy.
Okay.
I was outside with her, and I just looked up, and the backyard neighbors, because it's just suburbia.
Right.
I couldn't help but see The Sims 4 on a very large, like wall-sized TV staring at me, and I just stopped and looked, and I think they thought I was like peeping on them because I was it's video games and I get mesmerized.
I totally understand that. You want to hear about a very poor life decision I made 2 weeks ago, last week, whenever Halloween was. Want to hear about poor life choices? Yes.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So some friends of ours offered out in the middle of nowhere to do a socially isolated Halloween get together with 2 different quarantines. So one of which happened to be my sister and my brother-in-law, and one of my friends had mentioned earlier that week, that he'd gotten an Oculus Rift. And I was like, ooh, because my voice acting group, Anansi Storytime, they love their Oculuses and they love Beat Saber and like all those games. And they're like, whoo, it's such a great workout. I'm like, ooh, gamification of workout? Maybe. So I was like, and so my friend said, oh, I just picked one up. And I was like, I thought they were back ordered for like 6 months. And he's like, they're back in stock now, because right at the beginning of the pandemic, you can get one for a lot of money.
That makes sense.
So he brought it for me to try out. And so we're at the end of the evening and I go to test it out. And I somehow missed that when you calibrate, you're supposed to kneel down and touch the ground and not just kind of like lower your hands. So during the calibration, it figured out that the ground was where my hands are when I'm standing. And so I'm trying to do the calibration thing and like do the test thing where you grab some balls and throw them or whatever. And I can't see anything. I'm like, there's this platform in front of me. I'm kind of in this cube on 3 sides and I don't understand. And then I jumped up and I saw that the table was this far above my head and all the stuff was on top of it. So instead of recalibrating, my brother-in-law decides to hand me a folding table, and I, completely sober, decide, while blindfolded, it's a great idea to stand on a folding chair on top of a gravel driveway while blindfolded. So he helps me up, and he keeps his hands on my hips because we did realize this was maybe not the safest option. And so I try it out. I'm throwing balls and I'm grabbing different items and moving them around. And then there's one it wants me to grab that I have to lean a little forward for. And I pitch off the chair. And my 9-year-old niece tries to keep me from toppling. And she stopped me once. But this time I was plummeting face and hands first towards the gravel. And my brother-in-law manages to save me. And I'm like, definitely getting one. Definitely calibrating the ground a little more accurately next time. So there's Morgan and sober poor life choices.
I have come across Beat Saber videos and oh my God, they're so much fun.
Right? I'm trying to start off with like a realistic expectation. My friends are like, I got exhausted after 5 minutes. And I know I have no stamina these days because quarantine. So I'm super excited. And that is going to be my NaNoWriMo like prize for myself. Hopefully there'll be some Black Friday sales and I can, but yeah. So Haley is here. Hello, Haley.
Hello, Haley.
Friends left today. I'm doing at least one more. I might do one more after I'm supposed to wrap, but 6:30 Eastern is kind of a notional idea, not a definite. Doc suggests that I turn the desk around and move myself into the sunroom with all its windows and things. I do have a side desk here, so I can see it when I'm turned and actually facing my work day job stuff. But it's not the same being one room away from where the daylight's coming from. It's slightly different. Haley asks if there are any live sprints happening elsewhere. Yes. Do I know where they are? No, but I'm sure I could look around. Find them?
I know Meadow's doing daily at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So that is, what is it now? It is less than 5 hours.
Yeah. But there's definitely ones. Just Google hashtag or go on YouTube, go hashtag NaNoWriMo live sprint and see what pops up. I'm subscribed to so many different author tubers that I can usually find one, especially this month.
Mhm.
So, Emma Ward dubbed you a Sims peeper.
Yes. Well.
And Andy laughed at me. CB is going to stick to Mario Kart 8. It's safer. I am so bad at Mario Kart that I was playing Wii Mario Kart, and it took me an entire round to figure out I had put the controller in upside down. I'm not good at racing games. I'm good at balance. I really am. Just not when blindfolded and reaching off a folding chair. So.
Oh, Tash is really stepping up with all the
Suggestions.
people.
Awesome. So Stephanie Jean has one starting now. Feel free to link it. I'm okay sharing links for other people. CB said that 11 p.m. is 3 a.m. for them. Whoops.
They can only link it if you mod them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You pick their name.
Yeah.
And the three dots.
You have to find that window.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. Here we go. I'll go ahead and mod you. Add moderator. There you go. Now you can link dump for us. Since so Doc says find your local NaNoWriMo group for live sprints, which for my group, it depends how active your local group is, but 100%. My local NaNoWriMo group has a Discord channel, and there's a war room where there's pretty much always a sprint going with people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some chat rooms we can hang out. Autumn Ashley is going at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is at the top of the next hour. Pages and Pens at 8 p.m., which is 2 hours from now. Doc says the Maryland Nano Group is doing live sprints via Discord. CB, unlike me, is amazing at Mario Kart, which means you should be playing with my sister and my niece and her household. So Doc says I am his speed of Mario Kart. So Tosh says there's a Google Calendar that a bunch of them are on, and that's the calendar they've been going off of. Glory says HK Darkwood is streaming. I'm so happy that all of y'all are here while all these other cool people are streaming.
There are so many author tubers now.
Oh, yeah.
People like say, oh, yeah, these 6 people are streaming. I haven't heard of a single one of them.
I think I've heard of 1 or 2, like Pages and Pens, maybe. And a couple of the names looked familiar. It depends if they're active in the Facebook group, because that's where it's really hard to network on YouTube until you know who they are or where to find them, you know? Unless YouTube just randomly suggests them for you. But most author tubers are not at the level where YouTube will be suggesting them.
Right.
So.
And the issue that we have with AuthorTube is that there is no centralized location for it. It's Facebook, it's Discord, it's Insta, it's Twitter.
Yeah.
And even within those, there are multiple spheres.
And niches and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's another Facebook group other than the one I'm in, let me know, because I'm an addict. I love joining groups. I have a problem.
CreatorTube started.
Right. So do we overlap with CreatorTube? Are we a subset, or are they our cousin?
It's like an offshoot that has decided to become its own entity.
It's like the crafty author tubers, but
right.
And I mean, you see, when I do call out for my sprints, I say, you can bring your crafts, you can just come hang out. I don't make people write. Yeah,
that's last Nano. I started productivity streams. Because that one thing I found out during that time period was that a lot of people were doing things like cleaning.
I am a great procrastinator. I cleaned my floorboards last Sunday instead of writing. It was bad. It was really bad.
Do you need to join a group for a 12-step program for people to join too many groups?
Yes, I do. So my sister, I'm an identical twin, and she works at the local library. And she sent me last week a link to the local library's NaNoWriMo group meetup. So I joined that. Because and it's not like I'm not already part of my local NaNoWriMo group and AuthorTube and the Pitch Wars community. And the Pitch Wars results just came out, and the con circuit, the local con circuit, and Doc just offered his place up in case I need to clean in order to avoid writing. While I appreciate the offer, I am allergic to cats, and you have them, and that's just really rough on my allergies. So I will decline, but thank you. I can live with a cat, but cleaning with a cat, it aerosolizes a lot more. When I live with a cat, I have to keep them off of the back of the couch, my pillow, and if they give me kitty kisses, I have to immediately wash them off so I don't get a rash.
Lovely.
Which isn't awesome, but as long as you vacuum and you throw a blanket on the back of the chair and you move it down when I sit down, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So Doc is sad that I'm not going to help clean. He's a bit handicapped and could use the help. I'm sorry.
Kitties love
hobbies is streaming in 3 hours.
Oh yes.
That could be Creator Tube or Writer Tube or both of them at the same time.
Yeah, that's Cache, and she is she's one of the Creator Tube founders.
Yes, I actually was aware of that. She's the only one that comes to mind when I hear Creator Tube.
Her and VM Mackenzie.
Okay.
And I think the twins, Laura, I can't remember their names. It's like Divided by Sight and wow, I'm blanking on their names.
Yeah. People who are awesome and create things. Are they knitters or what?
They were all in AuthorTube.
Right, clearly.
I think I don't know if they all still hashtag AuthorTube in their stuff.
Okay.
I'm not sure. They might not.
So Tosh says they were once on antibiotics that gave them insane insomnia and literally dusted their parents' library until 4 a.m. And the next night was the baseboards. A very weird week. Kelly was at a shelter today and a frisky kitten climbed on their back to kiss their ear. I got a pet goats today. I was visiting friends with goats. I was promised I could walk down to the creek and maybe play with the leaf blower, and instead they decided to take out a tree. So I was like chucking limbs into the hollow down the gully, which was not what I was advertised. But I got to visit their goats. So CV is also allergic to cats and am care packaged, and there are some people on my care team who are also allergic to cats. I get that. It's pretty common. It really is. So, well, let's get one more sprint in before we go. Let's see how this works. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and share, and let's get some words in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right.
Print complete.
Boom. Air 5. Andy had to duck out. Thanks for joining us, as always. Nice. Cracked 1K word.
Nice.
Sako is going live at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's in an hour and a half for those of you who time zones are not your forte. CB says that tomorrow is the 23rd anniversary of the second most infamous day in pro wrestling, the Montreal Screwjob. I am unaware of that, but good to know. CB got 116 words, little realizing that I was about to wake screaming from a nightmare of my own.
Dun. I got
did
some
you get reading done
until
or what
the
were you
alerts started
that
coming in. So then I had to check the alerts, and then I made that post there, or comment. I'm having trouble forming words because it's late for me. I'm in Eastern.
What time zone are you?
But I'm on a different schedule.
Okay.
I'm on more of a British schedule. So it's like close to midnight for me.
Right. I get that. Let's see. 9, 6, 4. I got 243 words and read some clickbait because I'm distractible.
Clickbait always gets you.
It's a problem. So let's see. For my sprinting for this live stream, let's see. I got...
That's a cool looking keyboard.
I have a skin on my laptop. I got it for Christmas off my list a couple years ago. So.
And it froze, so the picture we didn't see.
Oh dear. Try again?
Oh, that is pretty.
Yeah, so I absolutely love it. I think it's in the preview image for this sprint for my live streams.
Okay.
So if you ever see that, it's literally my actual laptop. So I love it. And I love the fact that with the touch screen, I even have a box that goes over the touch part of the touchpad.
Okay.
And yet it still tracks my finger over because it's just a vinyl skin, and that doesn't apparently interfere with it. Who knew?
Someone in the neighborhood is burning leaves, and it smells so good in here.
Oh, I love that.
It's just so woodsy.
Yeah, definitely. So I am at 835 words for the day. Not my most productive 2 hours, but not my worst. So I'll take it.
I read... just reading it all today is more than I've done. So
yeah,
I did something dumb and I opened up a new phone game, and I played it like nonstop for a day and a half.
I put in ridiculous amounts of time into Merge Dragons when I first got it.
Yep, I did that.
I did like 7 hours in one day.
Which,
by the way, I've learned that if instead of putting my phone on my desk, if I put it on the back of my recliner, I'm not hunched over as far. It's much more ergonomic place for me to rest my phone.
Yes, ergonomically wasting time.
Right. Hey. So popping back to the comments, Doc got 253 words for the sprint and up to 1,002 for the day. Sir Richard is getting lightheaded from all the leaking gas. Oh no! CB said the reason it's the second most infamous day is because 18 months later, just about Owen Hart died because he fell from the top of the Kemper Arena. Ooh, I remember that one. The line broke or something when it wasn't supposed to, and it wasn't a good scene. Kelly got 122 words, and he was messing around with upgrading on Tinder last sprint. Ooh. And appreciates my cool laptop skin. CB is getting a new laptop next year, another MacBook Air. Ooh. I have an HP and I love it. I like it. So Kelly says where he lives, they burn leaves year round down here. I think he's in Georgia. And laughed at my ergonomic time wasting. But if you're doing it 7 hours a day, hunched over, let me tell you, my chiropractor was like, "What?" When I get into a new game, I give myself tennis elbow. Like, I'm bad. I'm very addictive.
Oh yeah, my elbows have been hurting big time.
Right? Like along here.
What Doc posted there reminded me of the excerpt I read for another of that guy's books.
Okay.
It's actually a really cool concept. It's the aftermath after they defeated a kaiju.
Oh, fun. Super fun.
The problem is it's in Portland and the kaiju is in the middle of the city dead, and they have to do cleanup, and because it's leaking gas, it's toxic fumes. Everyone's got to have gas masks, and the city's in quarantine, so they can't leave the city limits, and they're trying to get rid of this giant thing bit by bit.
Right.
And it's just like, that is actually a really cool concept.
Yeah. You've seen the video footage of the exploding whale, right?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, yeah, they decided it would be better to blow it up than remove it. And it exploded, and bits were found miles away. It was a very poor decision.
See? Oculus on a chair is not the worst adulting you could do.
Right? Whale explosion. So, yeah. I think it's the Florence, Oregon one. So, yeah. Or maybe there's an infamous one from 1970. Just Google it and you can find people trying to explode whales and being very bad. It's never a good idea. Kelly says he could game on Final Fantasy 12 plus hours straight.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So
whale explosions are bad, okay?
Right. So if people are going to go ahead and hit the next sprint at the top of the hour, let me go ahead and let y'all go. Jayce, did you want to do your outro and let people know where to find you and how awesome you are?
Sure. Well, I can do most of that. I am Jayce Maxwell. I'm an author of urban fantasy. I'm an editor for Rose City Editing at rosecityediting.com. I do sim streams 3 days a week. I do productivity streams 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday afternoons. And you can find me on Facebook at Jayce Maxwell and on Instagram at author Jayce Maxwell.
Nice. And I am Morgan Hazelwood. I am a fantasy writer, completely unpublished anywhere. I'm also a blogger, a vlogger, and a podcaster of writing tips and writerly musings because I'm addicted to going to sci-fi fantasy conventions and hitting like 30 panels in a weekend and sharing notes from the pros with you. So you can find me at morganhazelwood.com. This week I was talking about writing science fiction and fantasy from the margins. So talking about how writing about diverse stories is just as political a decision as not writing them. And tips and tricks about things that you should include from people who are actually marginalized, not my white, lily white face. So cis body, able, whatever. And let's see, what else? I talked about how on my podcast this week about how NaNoWriMo might be the kick in the pants you need if you have trouble getting past that first chapter or being consistent with your writing. And the community is super awesome and super supportive. And my podcast is at morganhazelwood.fireside.fm. And you can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood because branding, except Twitter, where Morgan Hazelwood, because someone's been hoarding that account for 10 years and not using it. Rude. Shake my fist at them. So yeah, I love talking about writing. I love hanging out with other writers, and I have an addiction to joining groups. So thanks again for coming. I'll be back again next Sunday with more sprinting, but you can find me on Thursdays is when my weekly YouTube vlog goes up. It's also in blog format over on the website. So yeah, thank you all for coming. It was great to see you. If you don't mind hitting that like button or subscribing if you enjoyed what you saw, and I'll be back again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.